up guys, and Fernape here. I am so sorry that I wasn't able to upload a video last week. I've just started a new course in college and honestly, my schedule has been completely jam-packed. But I am here now with a brand new video. Since I already made a bunch of different videos going over my changes of some Pokemon games, for example, how I would change the gym leaders, how I would change the Elite Four, how I would change the champion, I thought it would be better to make a big video where I go over all the changes I've made in all the Pokemon games, so that way you don't have to watch a bunch of different videos that will probably take about an hour long. Plus, I feel like making this video would be great for both you guys and myself, because I have actually made some changes from when I uploaded those videos up until this point, because of the fact, well, I saw some things that in the past that I don't like now, so I'm updating them in this video. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, which changes you preferred based on the region, if you like the updates that I made, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get into the video! Okay, the first region we're going to be going over is Kanto. Now, I'm going to be doing all of these based on regions, and I'm also going to be including the gym leaders, the Elite Four, and the champion. So, let's go over Kanto. Brock's team will be staying the same because it's perfect for a first time gym leader. Misty's team is going to be Psyduck and Gyarados. Surge's team will be Magnemite, Raichu, and Electabuzz. Erika's team will be Victory Bell, Ivysaur, and Vileplume. Koga's team will be Weezing, Venomoth, Golbat, and Muck. Sabrina's team is Starmie, Exeggutor, Hypno, and Alakazam. Blaine's team is Magmar, Charizard, Rapidash, and Arcanine. And Giovanni's team is Marowak, Dugtrio, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, and Rhydon. As you can see from these gym leaders, nothing's changed, because personally, I love these changes. They are so perfect as they are. Honestly, I don't get why they didn't roll with these. For the Kanto League, Lorelei's team is still going to be Lapras, 2 Cloyster, a Jinx, and a Dugong. Bruno's team is Machamp, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Primeape, and Poliwrath. Agatha's team aim is going to be as it is, but swapping out her Arbok for Marowak. And Lance's team is Dragonite, Dragonair, Gyarados, Aerodactyl, and Charizard. For those who are confused about Agatha having a Marowak, it's to reference the Marowak that you find in the Lost Tower. Plus, also keep in mind that in this Pokédex entry, Cubone's whole shtick is that it's wearing the skull of its mother's head. And also, if we do this in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, we can make it so that her Marowak is the Alolan Marowak. So that way, it's a ghost type. Now for the champion. And since the champion varies depending on which game you play, for example, if you play red, blue, yellow, fire red, and leaf green, you face blue. But if you play Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you face Trace. So, I'm going to be going over the teams that I think would work very well depending on which champion you face. Let's start with blue. This version of blue is going to be the version of blue that you face if you play fire red, leaf green, or resin blue. So, this version of blue has the following team. The starter that's stronger than yours, Alakazam, Pidgeot, Rhydon, Machamp, and Electabuzz. If you're facing blue and yellow, you face the evolution depending on how you play, Alakazam, Sandslash, Fearow, Machamp, and Exeggutor. Or if you face Trace, he'll be using Mega Aerodactyl, his electric type starter, Arcanine, Slowbro, Victory Bell, and Marowak. Alright, next are the Johto trainers. So, starting off with Faulkner. Faulkner's team is going to be a Pidgey and Noctowl. Bugsy's team will be Butterfree, Beedrill, and Cypher. Originally, it was Scizor, but it was pointed out to me by some of my friends that if Bugsy had his ace be Scizor, you're forced to pick Cyndaquil. Because Cyndaquil is the only Pokemon that can take out Scizor with super effective moves. So to make it a bit easier, I decided to just give him Cypher, even though I really wanted to give him a Johto Pokemon Ace, but there isn't any good Johto Ace bug types. So I just had to swallow my pride and give him Cypher. For Whitney's team, I decided to keep her team the same but swap out her Clefairy for Jigglypuff. Because this way, when we transfer to current game meta, it will still be a normal type because it is a normal and fairy type. While if we have Clefairy, when it transfers over to current meta, it'll just be a pure fairy type. So, I'm swapping in Jigglypuff. For Morty, we've got Ghastly, Haunter, Misdreavus and Gengar. For Chuck, we've got Poliwrath, Hitmontop and Heracross. For Jasmine, we've got Magneton, Skarmory and Steelix. For Price, we've got Lapras, Dugong, Sneasel and Piloswine. And for Claire, we are going to use her Heart Gold and Soul Silver team. Now for the Johto Elite Four. For Will's team, we're going to be going with Xatu, Slowking, Wobbuffet, Espeon and Girafarig. For Koga, we've got Crobat, Muck, Weezing, Venomoth and Nidoking. For Bruno, we've got Machamp, Hitmontop, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan and Heracross. And for Karen, we're going to be going with Tyranitar, Houndoom, Murkrow, Umbreon and Sneasel. As for Lance, we're going to be giving him 2 Dragonites, a Gyarados, a Charizard, a Kingdra and an Aerodactyl. Next up is Gen 3. And I definitely think this is going to be probably one of my favourite changes out of all of them. For Roxanne's team, we've got her Emerald team, but I'm swapping out one of her Geodude for Laleep. For Brawly, we're going to be giving him his Emerald team, because personally, I love his Emerald team, and I think it works very well. For Watson, we're going to be using Chinchou, Magneton, and Manectric. For Flannery, we're going to be giving her Auras team, because I believe it works the best. Norman's going to be having his Emerald team, because I think that's probably the one that works best, and also gives the player both a bit of a challenge, and it's also not too ludicrously difficult. For Winona, we're going to be using her Emerald team, but swap out her Swablu for Swellow. For Tate and Liza, we're going to be giving them their Emerald team. As for Wallace, we're going to be giving him his Ruby and Sapphire team, but swap out one of his Love Disc for a Lantern. Originally, I just took out a Love Disc for good, but I kind of felt like it didn't really correspond that well. So I thought giving him a Lantern would help even things out. As for Juan, I'm going to be giving him his Emerald Gym team, but swap out his Love Disc for a Starmie. Now for its Elite Four. With Sydney's team, I decided to keep his Emerald team because I feel like that works the best. For Phoebe's team, I'm going to be using Sableye, 2 Dusclops, a Bayonet, and a Shedinja. For Glacier, I'm giving her a Walrein, 2 Glalie, a Hail Form, Cast Form, and a Celio. And for Drake's team, I'm giving him his Emerald team because I feel like that definitely suits him best. For Steven, I'm going to be giving Steven his Metagross, Aggron, Claydol, Flygon, Armaldo, and Cradilly. And for Wallace, I'm going to be giving him Milotic, Wailord, Swampert, Ludicolo, Gyarados, and Tentacruel. Next up is Gen 4. Probably my favourite, but also the one that I didn't make too many changes on, because of the fact that there weren't too many changes to make. For Rourke's team, we're keeping it as it is. Gardenia will be having her Diamond and Pearl team. Maylene's team will stay the same. For Wake's team, he's going to be using Gyarados, Gastrodon and Floatzel. Originally when I did this, I swapped out Gyarados for Prinplup because of the fact that I thought that he needed more Sinnoh Water-type Pokemon. But at the end of the day, I feel like Gyarados definitely works with him well, so he can have his Gyarados back. Fantine will be having her Diamond and Pearl team. Unless you're facing her in Platinum, then she can have her Platinum team. For Byron, I'm going to be giving him his Diamond and Pearl team, but evolve his Bronzor into Bronzong. For Candice's team, she's going to be having her Platinum team, and Volcano will also be using his Platinum team. Sinnoh's Elite Four was definitely quite interesting to make. For Aaron's team, I'm going to be giving him Drapion, Yanmega, Vespiquen, Mothim, and Heracross. For Bertha, she's going to be having Hippowdon, Rhyperior, Gastrodon, Gliscor and Golem. Flint will be using his Platinum team, and Lucian will also be using his Platinum team. As for Cynthia, I gave her Garchomp, Spiritomb, Porygon Z, Lucario, Roserade, and Milotic. Now for the Unova region. To me, this one needed some massive changes, and I feel like I accomplished them well. For Chili, Cress and Silent, I'm going to be having them use their Monkey still, but they're no longer the ace. Instead, their ace will be the starter Pokemon that corresponds with their typing. For Cheren, he will be using Lillipup and an underlevel Tranquil. Lenora's team will be staying the same. Roxy's team will also be staying the same, but I'm throwing in a Trubbish as an homage to the anime. Berg will be using Excelgor, Dwebble, and Leavanny. Elisa will be using her black and white team, but I'm going to be swapping out one of her 2 Emolga for a Tynamo as an homage to the anime. Clay will be using his black and white team. Skylar will also be using her black and white team, but I'm swapping out one of her her ace for a Braviary. Bryson will be having his same team. Drayden will be using his black and white 2 team, but I'm adding an underleveled Zweilous. And Marlon's team will be his black and white 2 challenge mode team. As for the Elite Four, I didn't really do a lot of changing per se, but I did make some adjustments. For Chantal's team, I'm going to be giving her her black and white team with the addition of Drifblim. For Grimsley's team, he will be also using his black and white team with the addition of Zoroark. For Caitlyn, she will be using her black and white 2 challenge mode team. And Marshall will also be using his black and white 2 challenge mode team. As for Alder, his new team is going to be Volcarona, Bouffalont, Escavalier, Braviary, Electros, and Seismitoad. And Iris will be using Haxorus, Hydreigon, Druddigon, Flygon, Altaria, and Aggron. Now I'm going to be moving right along to Carlos. I did make an entire video going over the changes that I would make to the Carlos game, but I'll briefly go over what I did, because I did make some alterations from when I made that video, like, what was it, last year? 2 years ago? Something like that? Viola's team will be staying the same with the addition of a Beedrill. Grant's team will be staying the same with an addition to Aerodactyl. Karina's team will be Machoke, Harlucha, and Mega Lucario, because how I structured the game is that you do the Mega Lucario battle inside of the gym battle, and you get the Mega Ring after you defeat your rival in the Tower of Mastery, I think it's called? Anyway, Ramos' team will be Victory Bell, Go-Go, and Mega Venusaur. Clement's team will be Magneton, Heliolisk, and Mega Ampharos. Valerie's team will be Florges, Sylveon, and Mega Mawile. Olympia's team will be Malamar, Sigilif, Meowstic, and Mega Alakazam. And Wolfric's team will be Mamoswine, Weavile, Avalugg, and Mega Abomasnow. As for the Carlos League, Wickstrom's team is Klefki, Escavalier, Aegislash, Aggron, and Mega Scizor. Drasna's team is Dragalge, Altaria, Haxorus, Noivern, and Mega Garchomp. Seabold's team is Cloyza, Sharpedo, Gyarados, Barbaracle, and Mega Blastoise. And Mulva's team is Pyroar, Talonflame, Chandelure, Rotom Heat, and Mega Houndoom. And finally, for Diantha, I'm giving her Mega Gardevoir, Gourgeist, Aurorus, Delphox, Goodra, and Nidoqueen. Because of the fact that we don't really know a lot about her, apart from the fact that she's an actress, and also fairly feminine. So I decided to give her a feminine-based team, because, let's be honest, actresses appear a lot on, like, fashion magazine covers. So they tend to, make them look as feminine as possible. And Diantha does come across quite a feminine person. So I feel like she would have a feminine-based team. Next is Alola. And since there is no gyms in the Alola region, the only thing that I can do is change the Elite Four and the Champion. Or, in this case, the Elite Five. Because there are 5 Elite Four members. Because of the fact that, well, Hala got replaced by Molayne in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So I had to make this the Elite Five. For Hala's team, we've got Kommo-o, Crabominable, Hariyama, Beware, and Blaziken. For Olivia, we've got the Lycanroc, depending on which version you play, Probopass, Cradily, Alolan Golem, and Minior. For Acerola, we've got Palisand, Mimikyu, Gengar, Dhelmise, and Sableye. For Kahili, we've got Toucanon, Oricorio, Crobat, Togekiss, and Harlucha. And for Molayne, we've got Alolan Dugtrio, Magnezone, Metagross, Aegislash, and Klinklang. As for the champions, we have 2 different champions depending on which game you play. For Sun and Moon, you fight Kukui to become the champion. But in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you fight Hau. So I'm going to be giving them 2 separate teams depending on which version you play. When you face Kukui, his team will be Incineroar, Lycanroc, Braviary, Alolan Ninetales, Lucario, and Alolan Exeggutor. And for Hal, we've got the starter that's stronger than yours, the evolution that's weaker than your starter, Alolan Raichu, Kommo-o, Alolan Sandslash, and Snorlax. Next we have Galar. I'm not too sure how I feel about some of the changes I made to Galar, but they're okay, I guess. For Milo's team, I swapped out his Gossifleur for an Applin. Ness's team is Arrokuda, Chinchou, and Dreadnought. Kabu's team will stay the same because I feel like he does need a fully evolved Fire-type team, and getting rid of one of his Pokemon for a Raboot just doesn't really make sense. For B's team, I'm going to be giving her Phalanx, Surfetch'd, Graploct, and Machamp. Alice's team is Runerigus, Cursula, Golurk, and Gengar. Opal's team will stay the same. Gordy's team is Crustle, Gigalith, Rhyperior, and Colossal. Melanie's team will stay the same. Piers' team will stay the same. And Raihan's team is Dracovish, Flygon, Goodra, and Druddigon. For those who weren't in the audience when they saw my video when I changed the Galar leader's team, how I did it is that he's no longer a weather leader, he's a dragon leader. That's why I filled up with so many dragons, and also why there's lacking a Gigalith and a Sandaconda. Since Galar never had an Elite Four, all I can do now is change Leon's team, which I have done. So, Leon's new team is Charizard, the starter that beats yours, Dragapult, Mr. Rhyme, Aegislash, and Rhyperior. And finally, we have the Paldea region. I feel like these changes are going to be a massive hot topic, but I like the changes personally. So, for Katie's team, we've got her same team, but I'm swapping out her Teddiursa for Kricketune. For Artisan, I'm giving him Smoliv, Toadcool, and Sunflora. Iono's team will be Wattrel, Pawmo, and Bellibolt. Kofu's team is Whiscash, Veluza, and Wugtrio. Larry's team is Staraptor, Oinkologne, and Dunsparce. Ryan's new team is Annihilate, Ceruledge, Mimikyu, and Houndstone. Tulip's team is Esperava, Farigiraf, Gothitelle, and Armoroge. And Grush's team is Artabax, Avalugg, Beartic, and Cetitan. Now for the Pokemon League. For Rika's team, we're going to be using Clodsire, Toedscruel, Great Tusk or Iron Treads, Gastrodon, and Camerupt. For Poppy's team, we've got Tinkaton, Revavroom, Kingambit, Bronzong, and Magnezone. For Larry's team, we've got Flamigo, Kilowattrel, Bombarda, Staraptor, and Corviknight. And Hassel's team is Baxcalibur, Hydreigon, Garchomp, Haxorus, and Regalgi. As for Geeta, she definitely needed the most change. So, this is going to be quite a 180, not a 160, sorry about that. So for Geeta's team, we've got Goldengo, Armoroge, Glamora, Palafin, Kilowattrel, and Go-Goat. And now then guys, hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did, and be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, what you thought of these teams, if you would change them in any way, shape or form, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. So if you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it, if you did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. It's been Inferno today. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Inferno, signing off. Bye!